South Park likes taking disasters and then laughing about them. That might sound horrible to you, or not, but Matt and Trey have a way with making things actually funny. And if you've never wasted your time wondering which South Park disaster has the highest body count, don't worry, I gotcha. Wasting my time on things like this is what I do best. So here are the top 10 deadliest disasters in South Park. So why don't we start with Season 12's Super Fun Time. It gives us one of the most brutal scenes in South Park history, but it starts off so innocently that it almost warms your heart before it breaks into 1,000 pieces. It starts with the 4th graders going on a field trip to Pioneer Village, a living history museum where employees stay in character as 1864 pioneers, no matter what. It's a fun idea, especially the no matter what part, but Matt and Trey's twisted brains had another idea of fun.
I settled here in 1864 with my ma and pa. Sure thing. I ain't never seen strange clothes like you all are wearing.
They send in a group of heavily armed terrorists to take everybody in the park hostage.
We lost him! We lost him! Close that gate!
What did these terrorists do, you might ask? They robbed a Burger King. The terrorists burst in with automatic weapons, and the park employees stay in character.
Where's your phone?
A phone? Wow, what's a phone? We ain't never heard of such a thing.
What? Come on, this is serious!
They even refuse to acknowledge modern technology or the weapons. So when the terrorists start shooting, the pioneers just stand there confused, talking about loud thunder sticks and magic fire demons. These pioneers ultimately get gunned down one by one.
I don't know nothing about no fancy dog code. I'm just a simple blacksmith.
All because of their total commitment to the bit. And the episode plays it for laughs. But the Matt and Trey that we know, they love to escalate. So in their next act, they tested the limits of Pink Eye. Well, it doesn't actually start with Pink Eye. That comes later. It starts with the MIR space station crashing into Kenny at the bus stop, instantly deporting him to the land of the dead. At the morgue, one of the workers accidentally mixes Worcestershire sauce into Kenny's embalming fluid. That's a strange item to have in a morgue, and an even stranger accident. I mean, like, what could possibly go wrong? Well, what goes wrong is Kenny rises from the dead as a flesh-eating zombie.
Hey! Ah! Goddamn, that little turd bit me! Me too!
The doctors in town diagnose everyone getting bitten as having pink eye because, well, they're doctors. They're not well-versed in zombie movies. So the epidemic spreads. Kenny bites the morgue workers, who bite more people, and before you know it, the whole town is shambling around looking for brains. People are turned into zombies by the dozens. The boys and Chef take out a few zombies with chainsaws, and Mr. Torres gets his arm ripped off by Chef and bleeds out. And several other people are eaten alive on screen.
Sweet!
Kyle figures the smartest way to handle this is to go straight for the source, Kenny. But just when you think it's over, Kenny comes back from the dead, gets crushed by a statue, and then has a plane crash on top of that. Because, of course it does. But South Park was just warming up. Our next disaster started as a joke, and then it got serious. For years, everyone thought Al Gore was crazy for warning about ManBearPig. Turns out, he was super ethereal all along.
Oh, sucks for you.
Please, Mr. Gore, we need your help. ManBearPig isn't going to stop.
Oh, is it inconvenient now? I tried to warn you all, but no one took me serial.
In time to get ethereal, ManBearPig, the demon metaphor for climate change, returns to collect a deal on South Park's ancestors made decades ago. And he's not messing around this time. He brutally mauls Ned Gerblansky right in front of everyone at Tegrity Farms, then proceeds to slaughter his way through town in broad daylight. He attacks a red lobster and wipes out everyone inside. A husband is mid-sentence, arguing that ManBearPig isn't actually real when he gets brutally mauled.
You want to believe it's real, you go right on ahead, Susan.
No, it's right there! It's right there behind you!
Even if we do something about it, what about the Chinese? They're just gonna keep running.
Then ManBearPig hits up a Baskin-Robbins because, apparently, even demons like ice cream. He mauls 2 kids outside of South Park Elementary, and Detective Yates just insists that it's all school shootings.
God damn it! There's no such thing as a ManBearPig, you got that? We're working with facts here, not goofball theories!
In Nobody Got Ethereal, the rampage continues, and ManBearPig takes out a couple outside a Jared jewelry store. Then Satan himself shows up to fight him, but it doesn't go as the Prince of Darkness had expected. ManBearPig destroys Satan in a brutal fashion, ripping off his horn and driving it through his chest. Satan dies, and Blasphemy ascends to heaven as an angel. Now, here's an interesting fact. Matt and Trey originally portrayed ManBearPig as fake in earlier seasons because they were skeptical about climate change. But years later, they changed their stance and apologized by bringing ManBearPig as a legitimate, terrifying threat. So, how many people did ManBearPig actually take out? The exact number isn't specified, but this is climate change we're talking about. It's not gonna have a body count of 6 like Bonnie Blue on a slow day. It's gonna hustle and get to the millions. Which brings us to the next disaster. This one started because someone found a loophole.
Dude, just because some stupid North Park kid blew his hands off, we don't get to buy M80s?
Right.
The loophole was in a fireworks ban. Colorado banned them because a kid got his hands blown off. But Mayor McDaniels discovers snakes are still legal, so she buys one. From Mexico. It's the world's biggest black snake firework.
All fireworks have been banned in Colorado.
What do you mean?
It was in the paper this morning.
A summer without fireworks is like, it sucks ass. Yeah, now what are we supposed to do?
I can still sell snakes.
You know, the little pellets that grow into a snake shape when you light them? Well, this one doesn't stop growing. In fact, it's designed to burn continuously for over a year. You can now see how this is not a good idea.
This 4th of July, South Park will make history by having the largest snake in the world. The press will love it.
The snake keeps expanding and expanding, eventually becoming large enough to be seen from space. It grows into a massive burning serpent that collapses onto the town, crushing and burning everything in its path. The destruction spreads across South Park and eventually affects much of North America as this colossal snake burns and drops ash on everything. Casualties across North America add up snake's ash and body crash and burn citizens across the continent.
As more and more cities are affected by the growing ash and the death toll rises to 3,000, people from all over the country are looking to the mayor of South Park for answers.
The absurdity of thousands dying because a party store firework is peak South Park. Or perhaps not, because Matt and Trey found an even more South Park way of wiping out a lot of people. Guinea pigs. The guinea pig arc takes place over 2 episodes, and it's delightfully insane. It starts with the boys capitalizing on the trend of Peruvian flute bands by starting their own flute band. But the Department of Homeland Security has other motives, and they round up all the Peruvian flute bands and put them in internment camps. This proved to be a big mistake. Turns out, those Peruvian flute bands were the only thing keeping giant guinea pigs from Peru contained in the jungle. With the bands gone, giant guinea pigs attack cities all over the world. And when I say giant, I mean giant. These things are the size of skyscrapers. Randy spends both episodes filming everything with his camcorder, like a parody of Cloverfield, providing shaky cam footage of the destruction. The guinea pigs also mutate into lots of different forms. The town faces guinea bees, guinea rabbits, guinea mice, and even a Guineasaurus rex. The military tries to fight back, but their weapons have no effect. These giant guinea pigs are bulletproof. They destroy buildings, crush cars, and terrorize the entire world. At one point, a guinea pig stings someone with a massive stinger that impales them completely through. Countless people die worldwide. We see cities getting destroyed, people fleeing in terror, and widespread devastation across multiple countries. The crisis only ends when Craig fulfills an ancient prophecy, and the government releases the Peruvian flute bands to drive the guinea pigs back to the jungle. The epilogue reveals Randy forgot to put a tape in his camera, so none of the footage was saved. The only thing that would have proved the whole disaster happened is now gone. Peak South Park. But we're not done, because for their next act, Matt and Trey decided to take destruction to a place no man has gone before, Imaginationland. Imagination! You know, the place where Gandalf and Luke Skywalker live. Matt and Trey spend 3 episodes wrecking Imaginationland and rack up what is potentially the highest death count in all of South Park. Matt and Trey send terrorists into Imaginationland with bombs. They do what terrorists do, which is blow the place up. The initial assault claims countless characters, including Santa Claus, but there are so many imaginary characters. The terrorists realize they can't murder them all, so they come out with a different approach. Imaginationland is split into 2. The good side of Imaginationland is where the good guys live, you know, Gandalf, Luke Skywalker, Aslan, Santa, and the whole gang. His side is separated from the evil side of Imaginationland by a big, beautiful wall. The evil side is the home of Predator, Alien, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, Cthulhu, the Woodland Critters, and every other villain you can think of. The terrorists decide to blow up this wall, and the evil characters pour into the good side, and a massacre begins. We see Strawberry Shortcake get brutally tortured. They beat her, gouge her eyes out, and eventually kill her after the woodland critters debate whether to have someone with AIDS pee in her empty eye socket. When the US government hears of what's going on in Imaginationland, they do the most American thing they can imagine. Let's just nuke the whole place. Human imagination is just gone, along with all the characters we have ever dreamed up. The death toll is in the billions and trillions. All our folk heroes and villains, our movie characters, our tooth fairies, and we can't forget our imaginary girlfriends. Just gone. Nuked out of existence. But they are fictional characters, so the count gets complicated. Should they matter? Should they be ignored? Should Kyle have to suck Cartman's balls? That's up to you. But I believe they should matter because Matt and Trey made one of these fictional characters terrifyingly real for their next act. In the Coon and Friends trilogy, South Park takes Cthulhu out of Imaginationland and brings him to the real world. When BP Oil drills into the Gulf of Mexico, they accidentally release Cthulhu from his interdimensional prison and leave Tony Hayward saying, "We're sorry, we're sorry." This is the actual Lovecraftian god of madness. A news reporter explains that Cthulhu is expected to reign over Earth for 3,000 years, driving humanity to madness and enslaving everyone. In typical Cartman fashion, he sees this as a wonderful opportunity. He manipulates his way into Cthulhu's heart by just being the cutest, acting like a little cat, scratching on him, warming up to him. Yeah, Cartman's a piece of shit. Once Cartman is in, he takes Cthulhu on a rampage. They destroy everything Cartman deems evil, which includes San Francisco, synagogues, Whole Food stores, hippie festivals, and Justin Bieber. Cthulhu literally crushes Bieber's head between his fingers.
So long, Justin Bieber, you little douchebag!
Not only that, but all of Justin Bieber's concert goers get massacred, and so do the Burning Man attendees. The destruction is extensive. Cthulhu tears apart oil rigs, hurls giant Ferris wheels at people like paper, and incinerates citizens with lightning from his hands. He can even send people to Rilye, whatever. His nightmare dimension, or the Dark Oblivion, with a wave of his hand. The US military's weapons have zero effect on him. Casualties are horrendous. We don't get an exact count, but the numbers are probably in the millions. There is widespread destruction across multiple cities. In San Francisco, a city of 800,000 gets completely flattened. Only Mintberry Crunch, who discovers his alien powers, can stop Cthulhu and send him back to his dimension. The holes in the Gulf are sealed, but the damage is already done. But this is Matt and Trey we're talking about, so they're not even close to being done. Our next disaster also has Cthulhu connections. It is, hands down, the most dangerous thing in South Park. Being Kenny McCormick.
Oh my god, they killed Kenny!
Kenny's repeated deaths aren't just one event, but they deserve a spot on this list because, holy crap, the numbers are insane. According to various tallies, Kenny has died approximately 97 times in the show proper as of the official count from the creators. Add in the movie, shorts, and video games, and you're looking at 126 to 131 total deaths, depending on what you count. Some sources even put it higher. Kenny's deaths have included being crushed, impaled, electrocuted, burned alive, eaten by rats, and having his head bitten off by Ozzy Osbourne. Gotten his heart replaced with a baked potato that then blew up. He's been taken out by Alexa on Jeff Bezos' command, and countless other horrible ways. In Cartman Joins Nambla, Kenny's parents reveal that this is either the 52nd or 50th time they've given birth to a new Kenny who looks identical. So what is Kenny's total death count? We're talking about 126 plus deaths of the same person. That's more deaths than most horror movie franchises have. In Pink Eye alone, he dies 3 times. First, crushed by a space station, then chainsawed in half by Kyle, and finally crushed by a falling statue, which is then followed by a crashing plane for good measure. Kenny himself puts it best when he tells Mysterion's team, "I can't die!" That is his superhero fantasy, to just stop dying. Kenny is so tired of dying and coming back that at one point, he shoots himself in the head just to get home faster. Poor bastard. And all the suffering is because of Cthulhu. In the Coon trilogy, we learn that Kenny's immortality comes from his parents' involvement with the cult of Cthulhu. Every time Kenny dies, it's because of an ancient cosmic entity's influence. But more importantly, the cult of Cthulhu exists in South Park, meaning this is about a town where people casually worship an eldritch abomination. The cult includes the Goth Kids, Star Trek fans, Mr. Adler, and others. They meet regularly and chant Lovecraft's famous words, "That is not dead, which can eternal lie, and with strange eons, even death may die." When Kenny confronts them about what this means for him, they just stab him, because of course they do. But even Kenny's 126 plus deaths and a town-wide cult can't compare to the single deadliest event in South Park history. This involves real people instead of imaginary characters. And it all started because some kids wanted to see a movie. The boys sneak into the R-rated Terrence and Phillip movie Ashes of Fire, and they start swearing up and down everywhere they go because of the influence that the movie had on them. Because of this, Kyle's mom, Sheila Broflovsky, forms Mothers Against Canada, MAC, and she convinces the US government to declare war on Canada for corrupting America's children. What follows is absolute carnage. The Canadian Air Force bombs the Baldwin brothers' residence, taking out Alec Baldwin and his lesser-known brothers. And the US responds by bombing Toronto. Canada retaliates by bombing the Arquette family home. The conflict escalates into full-scale war with death camps. Happy camps, being set up for Canadian citizens in the US. The big battles begin. Bill Gates gets shot in the head, the mole gets mauled to death by guard dogs during a rescue attempt, and Kyle's mom executes Terrence and Phillip. This fulfills Satan's prophecy, and he rises from hell with Saddam Hussein and an army of demons to conquer Earth. The final battle is pure chaos. American and Canadian forces fighting each other while Hell's army attacks everyone. When Saddam tries to take over, Cartman uses his malfunctioning V-chip to shoot lightning, and eventually Satan ends Saddam by impaling him on a stalagmite. And the total casualties? Approximately 8 million people. This is confirmed in Season 5's Terrence and Phillip Behind the Blow, which references the Great War and the 8 million casualty figure. Kenny wishes for everyone to be returned to normal, and Satan grants it. But Kenny has to return to hell to make the wish permanent. And then he goes up to heaven at the end of the movie, so it's all okay. Eventually, Kenny comes back because, he always does. But that doesn't change the fact that South Park's adults started a world war that killed 8 million people. And it was all just over a movie. Kyle's mom is directly responsible for executing Terrence and Phillip, which triggered the apocalypse. And in typical South Park fashion, she kinda just gets away with it. She reconciles with Kyle at the end, like she didn't almost end the world. So there you have it, the top 10 deadliest events in South Park history. The show hits reset after most of these, but that doesn't change what happened. South Park treats death with the same dark comedy whether it's one person or 1 million. And that's what makes it uniquely insane. So stay safe out there. And if any of you plan on visiting South Park, could you please let me know? Because I need to make some money and I could definitely take out some life insurance policy on your ass. Stay tuned till next time, everybody.